What's up guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. Breaking news, a fast fashion growth stock has plummeted today by over 25% due to allegations of poor factory conditions at its textile factory in Leicester. Right guys, very different video today. So if you watched my video yesterday, you'll know that I analysed BooHoo stock and delved into the details. You'll also know that this business has some fantastic fundamentals, with a compounded annual growth rate on the revenue of over 50%. However, this business is currently facing major allegations of poor pay and working conditions for people in one of their manufacturing factories. Now, I'm not going to go in details of the story because I went over that in my previous video. However, what I will say is if you believe that this won't affect the business's bottom line in the long term, then now could be a great time to potentially purchase this stock. So yesterday I did a fundamentals analysis. Today I'm going to do a technical analysis. So I'm going to look at the charts. As you can see here, we're in the charts now, and just a brief explanation of the charts, if you guys aren't familiar with them. This is what's called a candlestick chart. The red candlesticks mean that it opened at a certain point and it closed at a lower price. So the longer the candlesticks indicate, the more sell-offs that there've been in this particular stock. So these long candlesticks here, these red candlesticks, indicate a bearish trend as lots of people have been selling. So the news broke, it's the 7th of July today. The news broke 6th of July. So as you can see there, when the news broke, boom, the stock just plummeted down. And then today, there's been further sell-offs, I guess, as more people are starting to digest this news about the working conditions in one of their factories. Now, the key is to understand, if you're trying to find out when is the best time to buy this stock, you've got a couple of choices. From a fundamentals point of view, you can just dollar cost average your way into the stock. So you could buy it here, you could buy it here, you could buy it here. And as you're buying it, the stock is actually getting cheaper. So that is the sort of Warren Buffett method of buying stocks. From more of a technicals point of view, what you're actually trying to do is time the bottom of the market. So you're trying to time when things seem to have settled down and it's a good time to buy. So you're trying to get the best possible price. Now, it's very difficult to find the bottom of the market, but showing you these charts today, I'm hoping to give you just a little bit more insight into this side of investing. Because I don't really touch much on this channel, because I don't use charts heavily in my own personal investing. But I'll go over them anyway. So as you can see, there's a lot of bearish candlestick bars as it goes down here. One factor which we could look for is what's called a resistance line. So a support or resistance line. So let me just show you a potential one. Now, BooHoo is a smaller company. So it does have, now BooHoo is a smaller company, £3.4 billion market cap. So it can be more volatile than a lot of the larger businesses. So back on the charts here, we can see a potential. It's actually broke through this slightly, but if you look at where the bottom of the share price is at the moment, and I bring a bar out here, this nearly sort of correlates with a previous time here. So we could say right now that that's a potential support for this price. Of course, we'll find out in the next few minutes or hours if this breaks through this, but that could be a potential support signaling the bottom of this recent crash. I personally, looking at the time now, 11 a.m. on the 7th of July, I think people will be digesting this news at least at lunchtime and as the afternoon goes on. So I think by late afternoon, majority of people, potentially even into the evening, should have digested the news, and then by this evening, I think the stock would have bottomed out. That's my personal opinion, just based on qualitative factors and gut intuition. However, from the support here, it could be potentially even be at this point here. So we'll find out. Previously, I'll show you an example of previous support lines. So you could see here, draw a line here. So when the stock dropped here previously, went to about here, that's another potential support, very close to a support between here and here. So as you can see, as the stock dropped, it dropped back to this same level, and that can indicate a good time to buy. So yeah, it's just trying to figure out the charts. Here's a good example of a previous support. So when the stock dropped here, this point here, back in 11th of December 2019, and then it dropped 22nd of April 2020, the stock fell to the same level before returning to a high. So that's what you call a support line. It's not an exact science. It doesn't mean it will never break through that line, because of course it does, and it did. However, it can give a good indication. So if I extend, now if you look here, this obviously major drop here was when the COVID 2020 crash happened. Now, I don't believe that this stock will drop as far as it did during this crisis, during the crash, because the COVID situation, when the news first broke about that, to me, that's a lot worse than just this one scandal at the factory. Amazon had a similar scandal at one of their factories, and their stock plummeted as well. So it can happen to any businesses, especially to those that are becoming successful and trying to keep their margins at a decent level. It can happen to a lot of businesses. It's very difficult for them to regulate every single manufacturer, although they make an effort to. Now, I'm not an advocate of BooHoo and saying they're right and what they're doing with these factories. I'm just giving my personal opinion on how a lot of these businesses operate and the difficulty of maintaining supply chain transparency. So if we look at here, here's the bottom of the market crash. Now, I don't believe it's going to go to that level. So we've got between here, which is £1, £1.45, £1.50 a share, which is what it went to at the bottom of the market crash, and at its current level, £2.55. So we've got about £1 a share to play with. Doesn't sound like a lot, but percentage-wise, it's still quite a substantial amount. But I don't envision it going to here, so it could even drop even further. So if I go back here to July 2019, could drop all the way to here. So that's another potential place where it might go to. I don't envision it will go all the way down to where it was when the coronavirus crash happened. So this is my estimate. I think the buy zone, so I'd personally say here is the buy zone between this support line and this support line. That's my estimate from looking at the charts. I don't envision it's going to go any lower. So this is the buy zone here. You could wait and try and get it to the bottom here. You could buy here, you could buy here, you could buy here. Doesn't, like, from a fundamentals point of view, it doesn't make a major difference. It's not nice when you invest and you see it drop by 10% more or 20% more. However, if you're a long-term investor, then you should be willing to handle this type of volatility. So I hope you guys might have found that helpful. Different type of video today. I'm just giving you more of an insight into my thinking and what I'm doing at this very moment. But remember, guys, this is not financial advice. So please analyze the stock yourself, analyze the business yourself, and don't invest into any business or any stock which you've not fully researched, and don't invest any money which you can't afford to lose. If you can't afford to see your investment go to zero, then don't invest it. Just invest what you can afford to lose. Like BooHoo's got very low levels of debt relative, but anything can happen in business. So just be aware of that. And yeah, invest safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
So what are your thoughts on BooHoo stock, and are you buying shares right now? Let me know in the comments below and I'll join in the discussion. In addition, if you'd like a free stock worth up to £200 or $200, sign up to Trading 212 using my link below and you'll get that free share. I use Trading 212 for my stock investments as it's free, easy, and has a great list of stocks to invest in. In addition, if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate if you give it a big thumbs up. And for more investing tips and exclusive stock picks, which I personally am investing into, be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn that notification bell on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Invest safe.